Almost a decade ago, before I was totally cancelled from TV and social media, I was using my voice to question the teachings of Islam that sanction the rape and slavery of non-Muslim women.
We as a community, if you like, have to be honest and open about that. We've all got a duty to tackle child abuse. But the difference is
you're a heroic moderate for saying it. I'm a far-right hooligan.
Anne Cryer tried but failed to get her local mosque to talk to suspects' families.
I went to a friend of mine who was a local councillor and he happened to be a Muslim, and therefore he was able to represent me to the elders because I thought it was a good move to try to get those elders involved.
Yeah, it was a good move.
I hoped that I would be able to persuade the elders to go knocking on doors and say to them, this behaviour is un-Islamic and I want it to stop because I'm going to tell the whole community about you and what you're doing if you don't. Now, they weren't prepared to do that.
There is a possibility for me that this is linked to Islam. Maybe it's not, but maybe it is. When you have in the Quran...
How can you say it's linked to Islam?
Because
on what basis? What's your evidence?
Okay, the Quran, you can take sexual slaves. You can take sexual slaves. Whatever outside of your four wives...
That you can take non-Muslim women as sexual slaves.
Okay.
I don't think you could find it.
It is nice to see you reading the Quran, though, I have to say.
It's obviously not making a difference, is it? Because you're still distorting it.
No, I'm not distorting. I'm reading it. If you fear that you not deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry those that please you of other women, 2, 3 or 4. If you fear that that will not be just, then take what your right arm possesses, i.e. slaves.
Where does it say sexual slaves?
Slaves, you can take...
No, where does it say sexual slaves? Where does it say sexual slaves? Don't distort it.
Well, maybe it's not me misrepresenting it. Maybe it's the groomers that are misrepresenting this. Would we all agree that these girls that have been targeted in these gangs are slaves, being treated like slaves? Can we agree?
Look, I think that is a very unhelpful way of tackling the issue.
They're being treated like slaves, and we have chapters in here that tell them it's okay to take non-Muslim women as slaves, and to me, that needs to be explored.
To Mo, Tommy continually tries to unfairly blame the religion of Islam for criminal acts.
Tommy's tried to create a link between some theological aspects and linking them with paedophilia, and that's wrong. Whatever sources he's using, they're deeply flawed.
It says in the Quran that you can take non-Muslim women as slaves. What do they do with slaves? If it's in there, we must explore that avenue.
A meeting was set up in London at the end of August with 2 experts on the Quran. Dr. Osama Hassan from Quilliam is a scientist and Islamic scholar, whilst historian Tom Holland has written groundbreaking books on the birth of Islam. Tommy used this opportunity to go straight to his belief that it is Islamic texts that are to blame for gang abuse of young girls.
Basically, outside of your 4 wives, you can take whatever your right arm possesses, yeah? Now, how do we understand that?
That referred to slavery, which are concubines.
Yeah.
Concubine, which included sexual slavery. Now, that was part of ancient culture.
Tom is delighted they seem to agree with his position.